When we refer to a country as being a superpower, some Marvel or DC fans might think we mean they have superhuman abilities, like super speed or strength. I mean, it would be pretty cool if each country did have a different power, but I could see that going wrong in many ways. But no, we are referring to a country that has a huge global influence on others, and some people think that China has what it takes to become the next superpower. So let's see how that might pan out. Hey everyone, what's up and welcome back to Life's Biggest Questions. The voice you are currently listening to belongs to me, Lindsay Ivan, your voice of reason for today's video, which is what if China became a superpower? But before I begin, make sure to give this video a big thumbs up and subscribe to Life's Biggest Questions. With that being said, let's dive on into the video. As I mentioned before, a superpower is a country that is pretty dominant in the world, one that has the ability to influence others. With regards to superpower, countries are ranked based on 4 types of power: economic, military, political, and cultural. If you are dominant in all or most of these categories, then you are a superpower. The word was first used to describe the British Empire. At the end of the 19th century, Queen Victoria was reigning over 1/4 of the world's land surface and more than 1/4 of the world's population. But it wasn't until after World War II that the concept was commonly used. During the Cold War, the term was used to refer to the USSR and the United States. But towards the end of the Cold War, Russia weakened and the US became the main superpower. It's thought that they maintained their title ever since. The US is considered the world's top superpower country. As the US News mentioned, America's cultural imprint spans the world. But America is currently weakening because of the pandemic, which has made people wonder who the next superpower may be. And China is currently in second place. Maybe it won't be long before they take America's spot. If we currently take a look at the US, they aren't doing too well. The pandemic is not under control, unemployment is at an all-time high, and they are in an economic crisis. All of this combined with the protests going on is taking a toll on the country. It's pushing people away from the American way of life that used to be idolized. They are no longer seen as the model country, meaning this could pave the way for a new leader: China. China is already a major military power. It's ranked 3rd worldwide after Russia. And of course, they are a huge economic power. In fact, the International Monetary Fund hypothesized that in 2020 it will grow to be 40% higher than the US is. So it's quite possible that at some time, China will take over America's place. So now, what would happen if this happens? If China becomes a superpower, then it will influence the world in many ways. The first way I would like to mention is AI, artificial intelligence. Currently, China is the world leader in many areas of technology, especially AI. If China became a superpower, I could see an increased use of AI in our everyday lives. This could drastically change the way we live our lives. So currently, China is using AI to help them in the midst of the pandemic. At train stations, they use AI to detect individuals' body temperatures. Instead of taking everyone's temperature by hand, they are using AI machines to keep their workers safe. This also allows them to take the temperature of a mass group simultaneously. Not only that, but if the pandemic continues on for many years, AI might be our answer. China is working on creating more AIs to help in hospitals. This could lower the exposure of doctors or workers to potentially sick patients. In fact, one doctor in Japan is creating a robot that will be able to conduct ultrasounds. So China as a superpower means more use of AI and more countries following in their lead. Other countries might start implementing more use of AI as well, which can have its positives but also negatives, like taking away our autonomy or jobs from workers that need them. But if the pandemic continues, then countries may follow in China's footsteps, using AIs to allow doctors and other workers to work remotely. On top of that, there will be an increase worldwide of digital payments. By 2021, it was theorized that nearly 80% of all of China's smartphone users will be using their phones instead of cash or credit cards to buy items. So with China as a superpower, using our phones to pay might be the new thing. say bye-bye to credit cards. Moving on, let's discuss how China replacing the US as a superpower will affect America, because it's going to have a pretty negative impact on their country. So for starters, this might cause China and the US to go to war. I mean, do you really think America will let China take their spot without a fight? In fact, Xi Jinping, China's leader, even said that his goal for 2050 is to establish a world-class military that can battle and win even against the US. So when his country is a superpower and has a stronger military, he might just go to war with the US if he believes he can win, and if that's what it takes to keep him in power. Then on the other hand, America might fall into a depression. If China is a superpower, then the American dollar might cease to be the world's reserve currency. Instead, it is replaced by the renminbi/yuan. Currently, America is doing well because their currency is used for almost all international trade. It's helping to keep their economy stable. But if it's replaced, they are going to get hit hard, falling into a depression. Now let's move on and look at education and schooling. With China being a superpower, more people might want to go to universities in China, especially aspiring politicians. China prides itself in its education. In fact, China is already influencing schools in other countries. They have 1,500 different schools across 140 countries. These schools have professors teaching their students lessons that support the China model of development. In schools in China, teachers have to teach state-approved ideas and certainly push communist ideals. This would continue on when they are a superpower. Schools will not just change in China though. Universities all around the world might be learning Chinese state-approved lessons. China might also experience an influx of people wanting to move and live in their country. Some may come in hopes of a new life. Others may come with the hopes to succeed in this thriving country. But this means that they will have to deal with a bunch of diverse citizens, ones that may have different cultural views and values, which may become problematic to them and may challenge the power of the communists. Moving on, we have the IMF, or the International Monetary Fund. It may just be that their headquarters will move from Washington to Beijing. In fact, President Christine Lagarde is down for the move. They have a bylaw that says the headquarters of IMF is to be located at the capital of the world's largest economy. So guess they are moving to Beijing if China becomes a superpower. Now, China has close connections to Africa, meaning that if they become a superpower, this would be extremely beneficial to Africa. Currently, China is Africa's largest trading partner. Not only that, but China has helped a great deal in Africa's urbanization. In fact, a huge percentage of the continent's infrastructures are driven by Chinese companies or are supported by Chinese fundings. Dan Rojivan, founder of More Architecture, said, and I quote, "Right now, you could say that any big project in African cities that is higher than 3 floors or roads that are longer than 3 kilometers are most likely being built and engineered by the Chinese." On top of that, there are over 10,000 Chinese-owned firms in Africa, meaning that when China rises to the top, Africa will also rise as well. Maybe China will invest more in them and aid them even more. Another main point I want to mention is that if China becomes a superpower, they may invade Taiwan. For decades, the two have been fighting. Taiwan wants independence from China, but that is something China does not want. Well, with this newfound power, they now can force Taiwan to comply. If they don't, well, China has already made it clear that they are willing to accept the nation forcibly when they have a reason to. The only reason they haven't already is because the US might defend Taiwan if they do so. But now they have the power to defeat America and take Taiwan back. There's nothing holding them back. But if China is so successful as the world leader, then maybe, just maybe, Taiwan will reconsider being a part of China. The last thing I want to touch on is the food industry. Americanized Chinese food has it stereotyped as fortune cookies, fried rice, deep fried noodles, and chicken. But in reality, real authentic Chinese food is fairly healthy. It consists of tons of vegetables, fresh chicken, and hot tea. Not oily and salty vegetables, deep fried meat, and sugary sodas. They live a fairly healthy lifestyle, getting daily physical exercise and eating properly balanced meals. This would influence the diet of people worldwide. Authentic Chinese food restaurants would start to open up all around the world. It may influence people to follow their lifestyle more closely. In the end, people would be living a healthier lifestyle. This would have such a positive influence on others. It may help deal with obesity and other related problems. On top of that, China hates wasting food. Meanwhile, in other countries, tons of food are thrown away and wasted daily. Bruised apple at a grocery store? Garbage. In China, they will cut around the bruise and imperfections of the fruit and make it work. No food is ever wasted. This again would have such a positive impact on the world. Alright, that's all I'm gonna cover in this short time we have together, but we can always continue this conversation in the comments below. What do you think would happen if China became a superpower? Let me know your thoughts. And now let's move on to our comment shoutout portion. I'll be shouting out comments for my video, What if the Roman Empire discovered America? Tuathal the True, hopefully I pronounced that correctly, commented, it's Celtic with a K. Sound at the start when referring to the culture. It comes from the Greek Keltos. Celtic with an S is only used in sports. Okay, honestly that's my bad. I always get those two mixed up and then you guys always call me out for it. So yes, Celtic, Celtic, got it, on it. Noah Dennis commented, what if YouTube didn't exist? Well, there goes my job. Harry Robin commented, good question. Why? Thank you. Glad you thought so. And that's all the comments I'm shouting out for today's video. Make sure to comment something down below for a chance to be featured in my next comment shoutout. And as always, don't forget to give this video a big thumbs up and subscribe to Life's Biggest Questions for more thought-provoking videos. I've been your host, Lindsay Ivan, and stay curious, YouTube.